ददवाग्नानादुत्तमश्लोकनामयत् संकीर्तितमघं पुंसो दहे देधो यथा नला. Just like the one which is ये PowerPoint, अरे इसमें ये दबाइए तोड़, ये है ना इधर प्रेजेंटेशन, हाँ दबाइए, प्रेजेंटेशन दबाना. That's why animation is not coming. दबाइए, बड़ा आएगा. हाँ हाँ, नहीं ये जाएगा, ये जाना चाहिए ऊपर का. प्रेजेंटेशन दबाइए, इधर होगा, इधर. हाँ हाँ, ये कब के जैसा है, वो दबाइए. ओके चल, प्रेजेंटेशन दबाओ बेटा, इधर. हाँ जैसा, just like the dry grass, by knowingly, unknowingly, if somebody just puts a fire, then it will simply catch fire and become ash, get reduced to ash. In the same manner, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is so powerful that anybody who utters it, he will get rid of all the sins in the same manner as knowingly, unknowingly, when a dry grass is just touched with a small fire. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, through the Sankirtan mission, he started all over the country, and after taking sannyas diksha, he started moving towards Vrindavan. And on the way to Vrindavan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reaches Varanasi, Benares. Then in Benares, there were so many people who were Mayavadi philosophers, who were blaspheming against him. They were saying, although a sannyasi, he doesn't take interest in the study of Vedanta, but instead always engages in chanting and dancing in Sankirtana. This Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an illiterate sannyasi and therefore doesn't know his real function. Guided only by his sentiments, he warned us about the company of other sentimentalists. So all this, hearing all this blasphemy, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu merely smiled to himself, rejected all of them. So one day when Sanatana Goswami came from Bengal, he met Lord Chaitanya at the house of Tapan Misra, and Lord Chaitanya remained continuously there for 2 months to teach him the devotional service. So when all these people were talking like this, they appealed to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at his lotus feet that how long we can tolerate the blasphemy of your critics against your conduct. We should give up our lives rather than hear such blasphemy. The Mayavadi sannyasis all are criticizing your holiness. We can't tolerate hearing such criticism. So when this was all going on, one Brahmana fell at the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and requested him to accept his proposal that all the sannyasis are invited to his house, he should also join. And so he requested, my dear Lord, I have invited all the sannyasis of Benares to my house. my desires will be fulfilled if you also accept my invitation. So, with his invitation, immediately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepts. And he goes to the meeting, he goes to his house where all Mayavadi sannyasis were sitting. And their leader, Prakashananda Saraswati, was also there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just washes his feet, and after washing his feet, he sat down by the place where he had just washed. And when he was sitting, the great shining, the luster, the brightness from his body made them to understand that he is not an ordinary person. So, by seeing this, then Prakashananda Saraswati goes to him and says, please come here, Your Holiness, why do you sit in the unclean place? What has caused your lamentation? You see how Lord replied. This I am reading Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, 7th chapter, 64th verse. The Lord replied, I belong to a lower order of sannyasis. Therefore, I don't deserve to sit with you. You all are very big people. I am very low person. Then Prakashananda Saraswati, however, caught him personally by the hand and made him to sit in the assembly. Then Prakashananda Saraswati, actually the discussions are very worth to read, understand, comprehend, explain, so that our mind will be purified. So I just read. You belong to our Shankara Sampradaya and live in our village Varanasi. Why then you do not associate with us? What is that you avoid even seeing? Why is that you avoid even seeing us? You are a sannyasi. Why then you indulge in chanting and dancing, engaging in your Sankirtana movement in the company of fanatics? Meditation and study of Vedanta are the sole duties of a sannyasi. Why do you abandon these to dance with fanatics? You look as brilliant as if you were Narayana himself. Will you kindly explain the reason that you have adopted the behavior of a lower class people? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied to Prakashananda Saraswati, my dear sir, kindly hear the reason. My spiritual master considered me a fool, and therefore he chastised me. You are a fool, he said. You are not qualified to study Vedanta philosophy, and therefore you must always chant the holy name of Krishna. This is the essence of all mantras or Vedic hymns. Simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, one can obtain freedom from material existence. Indeed, simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one will be able to see the lotus feet of the Lord. In this age of Kali, there is no religious principle other than the chanting of holy name, which is the essence of all Vedic hymns. This is the purport of all scriptures. After describing the potency of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, my spiritual master taught me another verse advising me to keep it within my throat. For spiritual progress, that was Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nameva Kevalam. For the spiritual progress in this age of Kali, there is no alternative than the holy name of the Lord. Since I received the order from my spiritual master, I always chant the holy name. But I thought that by chanting the holy name, I have been bewildered. While chanting the holy name of the Lord in pure ecstasy, I lose myself, and thus I laugh, cry, dance, and sing just like a madman. Collecting my patience, therefore, I began to consider that chanting the holy name of Krishna had covered all my spiritual knowledge. I saw that I had become mad by chanting the holy name, and I immediately submitted this at the lotus feet of my spiritual master. My dear Lord, what kind of mantra you have given me? I have become mad simply by chanting this Maha Mantra. Chanting the holy name in ecstasy causes me to dance, laugh and cry. Then my spiritual master explained, it is the nature of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra that anyone who chants it immediately develops this loving ecstasy for the Krishna. Religiosity, economic development, sense gratification and liberation are known as four goals of life, but before the love of Godhead, the fifth and highest goal, these appear as insignificant straw in the street. So, like this, when he explained, then all the Mayavadi sannyasis immediately understood, and they all actually become his devotees. So, we can see that the attraction towards Krishna and attraction towards material enjoyment. Our choice should be to go towards Krishna rather than try to enjoy the material happiness. Material happiness means it is Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Birth to death cycle, again and again and again and again. So, just like this fellow taking advantage, you can see Charlie Chaplin's just lit small clip. He is holding the magnet, and with the magnet he takes the advantage. Just see how nice it is. He takes the advantage of moving along with the car. So get attracted to Krishna and move yourself towards the Golok Vrindavan Dham. So, the material attraction is so strong, just like in the case of Chitraketu. Chitraketu was a king who was ruling the whole world, whole earth, but still he was not happy because he didn't have sons. And when Angira Muni, Angira Rishi came to his place, he requested, kindly do something and get me a son. Angira Rishi tells him, you see, I can give you the son, but he will be the cause of your joy and also the cause of your misery. You decide, no, you kindly give me son, because the son may create some problem and it may give some misery. I don't mind taking that misery. So Angira Rishi blesses him and he gets a beautiful son. As the time passed, he got very beautiful son, but he had many other wives who didn't have the child, male child. So they became so jealous, and one day the child was given the poison and the child died. He felt so bad and he was weeping and shouting, and the whole administration in the country had become disturbed. So seeing all this, Narad Muni was approached by Angira Rishi, and both Narad Muni and Angira Muni went to his place and they inquired, oh, I am sorry that your son is no more. But I will try my best, I will do something. So he goes to the son, he goes to the dead body and says, oh Atma, oh soul, why did you leave so early? Your parents are weeping, your parents are lamenting. Come back, come back, come back to the body. Then the soul comes back to the body and started talking. Then he says, the soul says, These are my parents. Who are the parents? I am the one who is changing the body again and again and again and again and again. Once I was a cow, once I was a donkey, once I was a pig, once I was so many lives and so many mothers, so many fathers. And I'm sorry, I am unable to find in the list. Who are these? Then when he explained that he is not the body, he is the soul, then Chitraketu could understand, yes, I am sorry, I was lamenting and I was in the material pleasures, that's why I got this misery. So he surrenders onto Krishna, understanding this. So these material happiness or material things, they are temporary, just temporary. If somebody thinks, I am the creator, I enjoy, they are the biggest fools on this earth, because they are going to get all the problems in the Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. And taking birth again and again, right from the childhood, whatever they think, I have become a big doctor, I have become a big engineer, I possess so much money, I possess so many buildings, so many cars, I am enjoying. But one day you have to leave everything and you have to suffer, because Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, the disease. Anybody, whatever be the position, whatever be the great position, material position he has got, he has to undergo, he has to leave everything and just leave the body, and the Atma, the soul, which is permanent, eternal, will take another body. And that body is also, one day or the other, that will become old, again that will go, another body, another. So this cycle is going on. Until and unless we come out of this cycle of birth and death, we will be having all the miseries of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. So, if somebody is after the money, he is like this, okay, I will reach one point. When will you reach? This is the one which is a cycle which will never stop. So after the death also, when he becomes a ghost, he will be after money. That is of no use. We should understand very clearly that we are like a nut for the whole mission. Nut on its own doesn't do any activity, doesn't produce. Nut is meant for getting fixed in the machine. Nut is not independent. Nut, when it is fixed in the machine, its purpose is served. When we water the roots of the big tree, each and every leaf will get the water. If we water from the top, if we water the leaves, it is ridiculous, because no water will go and enter. The tree cannot get any sort of nourishment. If we just put the food, take the food inside the stomach, then each and every organ will be nourished. If somebody thinks that, just like hand, if hand has cut the apple and hand wants to enjoy, wants to eat apple, it is impossible. It is foolishness. Similarly, if we think we want to enjoy ourselves forgetting Krishna, it is impossible. We are the servant and servant of Krishna. If we satisfy Krishna, we will automatically be satisfied. So we have the choice, either taking the path of material enjoyment or taking the path of attracting to Krishna and carrying out devotional activities. If we carry out the activities of Krishna, then carry out activities for Krishna, then we are sure we will go back to Godhead. So, Krishnere charane haya yedi anuraga, Krishna vinu anetra tara nahi rahe raga. Krishnere charane haya yedi anuraga. If we have the attachment to Krishna, Krishna's lotus feet, then other attachments, one by one, automatically will go. So our attachment will be permanent and we can think of getting ourselves elevated. Otherwise, we will be in that. But in spite of all that, why the real love for Krishna is not generating, is not coming in our heart? In the Nectar of Instruction 7, it is explained. The sugarcane juice is so sweet when we taste it. Oh, it is so sweet. But one person, while tasting it, says, oh, this is bitter. So bad. Oh, bad, bitter. Why it is bitter? It is kadwa. How is that everyone is drinking? Is because he is having jaundice. His eyes are diseased. He is a diseased person with jaundice. And so the person with jaundice, sweet things will be tasting bitter to him. Those sugarcane juice will be bitter. But the same sugarcane juice, when it is taken as the medicine, then jaundice disease will go from the root and he will start tasting the sweetness of the sugarcane juice. In the same manner, though in the beginning, because we are diseased with material attractions, material thinking, so we cannot enjoy the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We cannot feel the sweetness of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But as we keep on chanting again and again Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the root cause, the material attachment, will be removed from our heart and we will be cleaned of the material disease. Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapya Vidya Pittopatapta Rasanasya Narochikanu Kintva Dharadhanu Dinam Khalusaiva Justva Swadvi Kramad Bhavati Tadgada Mula Hantri. So, slowly, gradually, the root, the disease of the root will be removed and the person becomes disease-free. That is the greatness of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, we have to take it seriously and see whether we are moving towards attachment with Krishna or we are moving with more and more attachments on the material enjoyments. In 244 of Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly explained, Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam tayapa hrita chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadau na vidiyate. The person who is inclined, who is enjoying only material things, he will never get the determination to do the devotional activity. So we have to check ourselves where we are. Are we inclined to do devotional service with determination? If we want to attend Mangalarti every day, are we really coming every day? Or sometimes we come, sometimes we don't come? Are we chanting attentively? Are we chanting without any offenses? When we check ourselves, we get the answer. If we are inclined towards material enjoyment, then we will not get the determination. So, just as explained in the sloka today, if we are always remembering Krishna and carrying out activities for Krishna, such people, Krishna will definitely take care. And He, dwelling in the heart, will